This is Plant-Based Briefing. Why are fireworks harmful to wild animals and what can replace them? Part 1 by Letty Curie at faunalytics.org. And I'm Marian Erickson, host of this curated content plant-based podcast, where I narrate a variety of articles on plant-based and vegan living with permission in about 10 minutes or less every weekday. And I'm pleased to have permission from Faunalytics to share their content, but this article would have been a bit longer than 10 minutes, so I've broken it into 2 parts. I'll read part 1 today and then tune in tomorrow for the second half. So now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. Why are fireworks harmful to wild animals and what can replace them? Part 1 by Letty Curie at faunalytics.org. Despite the pleasure that fireworks bring to some people, studies show that they have harmful effects on other animals. This blog looks at their key animal welfare outcomes and potential alternatives. Fireworks are often used for human entertainment, typically in the context of celebration and marking special occasions. Their explosions produce powerful sounds and beautiful colors that are enjoyed at many festival events from New Year's Eve to national holidays, as well as smaller celebrations such as birthdays or soccer games. Unfortunately, conventional fireworks don't just provide fleeting pleasure to the people who witness them. In addition to potential accidents, such as fires or injuries that may affect humans, there are 2 almost systematic consequences that make fireworks harmful to other animals and to the broader environment. Suffering through the noise. The intensity of the noise generated by firework explosions is extremely high. In general, it exceeds the threshold at which humans risk hearing loss, and it often exceeds the pain threshold. But this intense noise doesn't just affect humans. Animals in the vicinity of fireworks displays suffer greatly. Studies on this subject are not very numerous and focus on birds, linked here, and companion animals, but they are still sufficient to determine the negative effects of fireworks at distances of up to 10 kilometers from the explosion site. For companion animals, the sound of fireworks can cause considerable panic and fear, directly observable by the people who take care of them. Whether dogs, cats, horses, birds, or small mammals, the reactions are similar, and the animals may scream, flee, hide, and to a lesser extent urinate and defecate. These behaviors, observed in a wide range of species, suggest that fireworks cause panic and fear in most animals who can hear them, not just a few isolated species. The reason for this fear is simple. The noise of fireworks, which is usually loud and unpredictable for animals, is perceived as a threat. Their fears and related behaviors are responses built up to protect their lives, which they normally do in the presence of predators. Unfortunately, animals can't follow the human holiday calendar and thus can't predict nor understand the nature of fireworks, so they can't even become habituated to them over time. Although stress and anxiety are already a major source of suffering, the negative consequences don't stop there, as shown by studies conducted on birds, which to some extent can be generalized to other animals. First, it is possible that the shock wave produced by the explosion of fireworks directly causes pain in birds. Then, after the detonation, panicked birds fly away in large numbers to higher altitudes. Some birds flee as far as 500 kilometers away from the fireworks before finding a new roost. Obviously, birds with less developed flying skills, such as juveniles, are at increased risk of fatal accidents, getting lost, and predation. In the days following a fireworks display, some bird species increase the amount of time they spend foraging, for a period that can exceed 10 days. This increased foraging is necessary to compensate for the fatigue and loss of energy caused by their sudden flight, usually in the middle of the night when they are resting. This fatigue, coupled with stress, anxiety, and other negative reactions, also has the detrimental effect of temporarily reducing their immunocompetence, which is their immune system's ability to function properly and protect them from pathogens. Fireworks can't normally kill birds directly unless they're fired directly at them. The possibility of animals having heart attacks due to the rapid and intense increase in heart rate is sometimes raised in newspaper coverage, but no studies seem to confirm or refute this hypothesis. On the other hand, in some cases, flying birds may collide with obstacles or other birds, which can be fatal. Therefore, from time to time, the use of fireworks results in a veritable mass slaughter of birds. Documented cases, with many cases likely undocumented, include the thousands of dead passerines in Arkansas in 2011, the hundreds who died the following year in the same state, and more recently, the hundreds who died in Rome in 2021. See details linked here. The frequency of these mass deaths is unknown, and the risk factors are not fully understood due to a lack of studies on the subject. However, it seems likely that panic and poor visibility at night increase the risk of collisions. You just listened to Why Are Fireworks Harmful to Wild Animals and What Can Replace Them? Part 1 by Letty Curie at faunalytics.org. And I'm your host, Marian Erickson. Please tune in tomorrow for the second half of this episode. You'll hear about the secondary effect of fireworks, pollution, how many individuals are negatively affected by fireworks, and what are some solutions and alternatives. So please share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and thanks for listening.